I've told you about the need to use specially compressible tubing for a peristaltic pump. The problem is that this tubing is extremely expensive. So in order to conserve on your expenses, one of the things you can do is to put a short length of compressible tubing into the unit, as I demonstrated before, lock it in place, and then splice it to the less expensive non-compressible tubing. The compression fittings, as you saw in some other portions, are very, very reliable and are leak-free, and they simply snap in. And then you can place the non-compressible tubing into your solution or into your reactor. During the action of the peristaltic pump, the tubing will have a tendency to try and work its way out of the feed container or the destination container. Using a plain ordinary wood clothespin on the edge of the beaker is a very simple way to make sure that your delivery and feed tubes stay put. Before you actually make an emulsion, you have to calibrate the flow rate of your pump. In order to do that, and also when you're making your emulsion, in order to make sure that the solutions are evenly spaced, it's often a good idea to stick a screwdriver into the tongue on the front of the unit and to turn it to get the fluid to the position you want it in all of the lines. This will fill the line up to the pump or anywhere else in the line that you want. Then when you're ready to begin your calibration, you set, for example, a 1-minute calibration time. You set the potentiometer on your pump and you turn it on. And you see how many milliliters flow in that length of time. Ideally, you will want your line full when you begin timing. But just as an example, after an elapsed time of 1 minute, with this particular line, I delivered 30 milliliters of water to the graduate cylinder. The next thing I would do is to turn this up 1 unit higher and turn it on again. But in doing so, I also have to empty the graduate cylinder. So I begin by setting another minute and by starting. And this is running at a level of 2 on the meter here. At this setting of 2, in 1 minute, the pump has delivered 100 milliliters of water. So at a setting of 1, it delivered 40 milliliters, I believe. And at a setting of 2, it delivered 100. And you can go to finer gradients in between with the vernier knob, and with that you can construct a complete calibration curve of your pump with this type of tubing. After you're done with that, using the vernier knob on the potentiometer, you can select any flow rate that you wish. The previous setup with the Masterflex pump is going to run about $1,500. It certainly does an excellent job, but for those on a very strict budget, you can use a garage sale train transformer, an El Cheapo Radio Shack voltmeter, and a $75 pump to do exactly the same job. Of course, if you want to pump two different solutions, you have to have two of these pumps, but you can use the same transformer because it will run two. You don't have to use the expensive tubing. You can use quite inexpensive tubing, and by calibration with voltage, you can deliver the same range of solution using this method, which will cost probably well under $100 for one line, well under $200 for two.